what gets taken out here.
Interesting, Morgana, of course, going to be the first ban. KaSing said this is a matchup that he likes into the Bard, into a lot of these current meta champions. May not be the strongest, but it is that comfort pick for KaSing, and it is immediately taken off the table.
Yeah, he seems to be very comfortable in like slightly losing matchups, because whenever I see a matchup where I feel like, KaSing, why did you not swap away from this? It's like, yeah, it's actually super playable. And I'm always a little bit surprised, like maybe he sees something I don't, or he's just comfortable playing slightly losing matchups.
To see, of course. Well, I'm wondering if we're going to see the Bard banned away from Hylissang today, what the priority is going to be now that Morgana's been taken away from Vitality. They played it both games yesterday.
We should. I mean, it's honestly a meta where there are less defined hard bans and guaranteed first picks. This is a point that the Fisher brought up yesterday too. Like, we used to have a meta where we saw the bans that we knew for 100% sure this team has to get this early pick, but even like junglers like Nidalee are getting left open. You know, it's no longer the Vlad perma-pick era. There are some champions that eat a lot of bans, like this is Sivir, gets banned out a lot. We see a lot of blind pick Victors, but never like as early as first pick, you know, usually a couple rotations later. So, yeah,
have to see
field
what
is open.
Absolutely. Ashe taken off the table for utility 80 carries. You can see Unicorns love hovering Nidalee now. A very powerful champion. Hasn't always worked out so well for Move. Definitely been more of that vision focus for him in a lot of these games, but Bard taken away as well.
Yeah, but then they give up potential Jhin first rotation here. I could see Vitality go for like Jhin Karma if they want to. There's always the Sivir approach too. Like, these are the two utility carries that are open. A lot of teams talk about how you don't want to give a team Sivir Karma here though, so is the Unicorns, are they going to respect that or just hand it over, because that pairs so well with the Olaf too.
And when we look at it, I mean, this Karma has not been a good pick for Hylissang. 0-4 on it thus far this season, and taking it away here would be, I mean, is it going to be good for Unicorns is the question, because you don't want to give it to Vitality, but at this point you kind of...
Yeah, you got to add up the negative that you take, but also the positive that you take away from Vitality potentially, because they're having their signature Olaf here, a champion that was actually very often banned against Cabochard, and it's still technically a flex. They can still put it on their jungler Shook too, or Cabo can play it in the top lane.
I want to know exactly where it's going to end up. Illaoi going to be the lock-in. Now, a couple weeks ago, this may have been the craziest thing we've ever seen, but it seems to be becoming standard in the Unicorns of Love toolkit.
Super snowbally matchup 1v1. Illaoi versus Olaf at the top, because the only way you stop an Olaf from charging at you is you straight up kill him. And if there's any champion that can deliver that burst, it is Illaoi. But if Olaf gets a lead, and he's no longer threatened by like the all-in combo in like 3 seconds, then suddenly Illaoi has to ducktail out, and she doesn't really have the mobility to escape. So jungler influence will be paramount to deciding who's the victor in that matchup.
And maybe something we can see that Vitality are going to be picking up in their second rotation here. Unicorns of Love already deciding on the Nidalee here. Not a lot of CC. There's going to be pressure on the top side, but a whole lot of damage between these two champions. Vitality, they can get that Karma Sivir. It's been absolutely terrifying thus far. Makes the Olaf even more threatening to the back line. Unicorns of Love, looking at this comp, we got a lot of poke coming out. I'm really wondering what they're going to take this, or where they're going to take this with their final rotation.
Yeah, scaling 80 carry, honestly, farm-heavy jungler, so very kind of low action early game. It will mostly be centered around Nidalee invading and hopefully challenging enemy camps. But if you have losing lanes, because there's still a counter pick mid coming, and it might be rough here. The Jax into Illaoi. Interesting that the Olaf does not go to Cabochard. It's actually going to Shook here. So, looking at probably a 4-1 comp here for Vitality. Nukeduck likes his control mages. Maybe he just goes for another Zillion. It's open this time. I would like that personally.
More mobility. KaSing, of course, hovering it as always. We'll have to see if that's what they want. But we've seen the Jax Zillion combo, if Jax can get a lead, be a great way not only to split push out, but also to start up these team fights if you do get a big enough advantage. Unicorns of Love on the opposite side as I stumble over my words today. Do pick up the Viktor. Very safe blind pick, as well as that Taric coming in for Hylissang, something he's been getting more and more comfortable with.
Yeah, blind pick Viktor on third rotation blue side is something we've seen so often. Honestly, it's just a fine pick. It has really no hard counter left. So I like the blind pick Viktor. I'm actually liking the Taric combination with the Illaoi too, because one of the counters to Illaoi when she starts whopping up her ultimate and really controlling a fight is burning her down, just simply bursting her. And the Taric ulti actually allows Vizicsacsi to survive for additional seconds. He actually turned around the game yesterday. He went 0-3 early game, and then one key fight where Hylissang got his ulti off. He died himself in the process, but he got the ultimate off. Chachi was invulnerable, and he straight up carried that fight with a triple kill.
Yeah, and I think went from like 10% health while invulnerable to 100%, healing up so much off Olaf's tentacles. The Death's Dance build now common for him in the top side of the map. so hard. I mean, giving him an extra 2 seconds of life means he's basically unkillable.
Actually, I can definitely respect this TF pick here from Nukeduck. So that means, one, he can start playing in side lane later on. So Vitality have the option to 1-3-1. They're not locked into having to do the 4-1 particularly. They can double flank with teleport and TF ult these two if they want. And more importantly, TF into Viktor actually has a really easy laning phase. So TF won't get AFK pushed in, and you can actually pressure and then teleport away and make use of some of these lanes here. Any influence in a Jax lane results in a kill usually, and Sivir Karma can always control versus Taric and Ezreal. They will always have priority in that bot lane, which means there's a ton of options for Nukeduck to make plays around the map.
So much flexibility, as you said. Sivir Karma already such an impressive lane, so much mobility to back up the Olaf and the TF, giving them that extra global pressure here. Feels like the onus is really on the Unicorns of Love to figure out exactly what they want to do with this composition. We've seen some interesting picks. They're consistently pairing the Taric with the Illaoi, and we like that, but if it feels like if they get outmaneuvered on the map, there's not going to be a whole lot of options left to them.
Yeah, they need to survive the early game and then kind of find a group fight. They're definitely running a 4-1 themselves. I mean, Ezreal can go to side lanes and kind of pick up the farm, but usually in the mid game, that's the role of a mage to move over there, and Viktor can't really do that.
Absolutely. Guys, you can hear the fans in the background getting geared up and ready to head into our first game of the day here in the arena. You saw it on your screen. Head on over to Twitter at LOL eSports, hashtag UOL win, hashtag VIT win, depending on where your loyalties lie. Get this one started. I like this. Pink Taric, consistency in branding.
The Unicorns of Love, Taric?
Yeah. Hylissang, smart man. Have a big Unicorns of Love fan base in the studio today. Probably
I mean,
hear 'em.
This is
We have
literally
a
like
vocal.
4 guys. Yeah, this is people.
Interestingly enough, Vitality starting with some early level 1, potentially Cheese here. Maybe hoping to catch
Whoa,
someone
whoa,
off guard.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Cheese, diverse strategies, please. Adaptation.
Making bold decisions.
Breaking the mold. Thinking out of the box. But yeah, this is a lane swap predict and a punish. These days, very often when teams want to lane swap, they start hiding in the brush and then they late invade enemy Krugs to figure out if it's a lane swap. Vitality is just blind matching that. Teams have kind of foregone the invades to guarantee one side of the map. It would have been up to Unicorns of Love to invade themselves though. So it looks like a double camp start. This does mean that Ezreal Taric kind of survived the roughest part of the lane. If it's camp versus camp into lane, the melee support is happy. If you get stopped on a camp and police gets the lane early, then it might be a little rougher.
Absolutely. Want that early experience, get out of those early stages of the lane. Sivir and Karma, of course, are going to be able to push in here. Have to see how Hylissang and Veritas respond. They're going to skip the camp.
Yeah, so they spotted the invade from police and KaSing. KaSing and police didn't wait long enough, so that actually gives Veritas and Hylissang option to influence this wave early, and it means so much for the laning phase. Like, this can't be understated. The whole laning phase changes depending on who gets access level 1. So they survive a rough part already. Looking at some good early trades here. Nukeduck obviously trades into that Viktor shield. Ooh, but then the red card gets some splash onto Exile.
Nice damage coming out, both playing around the Thunderlords there. Wanting to get those 3 procs, wanting to get out, just getting the most out of each and every one of those trades.
Yeah, now Hylissang, he's just aggressively making space in the lane so Veritas can push up the CS. 9th creep means level 2, so 2 more melees, and then Veritas gets to level 2 and has a shift, which means he can then position slightly more aggressively for CS. So they definitely, right here, to level up. They survived the roughest part of the laning phase. Usually it's Police and KaSing poking them out as opposed to being pushed in.
And level 2 comes up. You can see KaSing and Police immediately responding with some aggression of their own. Maybe hoping to even out the lane as Veritas and Hylissang are currently in control.
Yeah, but they're fine now. Ezreal can Q farm as his wave bounces back and he won't lose too much CS. So I think we can start looking at these laners here in the bottom and which jungler is going to get them first.
It's going to be interesting to see just both on a 1v1 sense and where the jungle pressure is going to go. Currently, you can see Moo hovering around the mid lane, pretty close in proximity to Shook. Just throwing down some vision to fire to figure out that pathing. And the trade of blows here. Test of Spirit goes in. Cabo, he may have overcommitted here. Illaoi's going to do a lot of damage. Cabo, can he win the trade in the end? He is cursed and it's starting to move. Flash comes out, go in. Ooh. Not going to be enough. Nope. Ooh, fancy footwork coming in from Cabo. He's going to have to dodge these out until he can burn down another tentacle or two.
Yeah, Cabo got surprised there. You know, if you get right next to the Illaoi and she hits you both the actual original model and the clone tentacle, she deals so much damage.
Yeah. Gotta respect the damage potential coming in from Illaoi. But both of them trading flash here in the end. Cabo with an experience advantage and the wave pressuring in. May have to burn TP to come back to this lane, but it seems like both just have to be ready to all in.
It'll equal out. Like if Cabo TP's back now, Vizicsacsi obviously can't stay, you know, because it's item advantage Jackson, he'll have to base too. The more important part is that both laners use their flash. Vizicsacsi used his flash on the backhand to kind of chase for a kill. If he could have preserved that and played more passive, he really wanted to win out here. So any jungler that can influence his matchup right now will do so much damage to it as they're playing flashless.
Well, you can see both junglers have made their way to the bottom side of the map, Nidalee and Olaf. Neither one making their presence known quite yet, but both pathing down there thus far.
Yeah, roughly equal on camps, except for Move having, you know, both Scuttle Crabs in control. And how Cabochard's like, you're down if you do, you're down if you don't.
Laning phase is so oppressive, but here comes Shook. They want to turn this one back. Stun goes down. Chachi in trouble. Is he going to be able to make it out? No flash. Decent healing. First blood. Cabo makes it out with an inch of his life.
Yeah, perfect timing. Cabochard acted as if he was clueless in the matchup, you know, running left, right. Like, do I run out of range, in of range? What do I do? As if he was asking his teammates, and then suddenly around the corner, Shook comes out because the pink ward at least cleared out one brush. There wasn't a ward in Tri-Brush. And Vizicsacsi, without flash, finds himself killed in the lane.
Absolutely, Cabochard proving himself the better actor in that exchange, not giving any hints away in the way that he positioned. Move taking this opportunity to take some jungle away, hoping to recoup a little bit of the loss there. But we've talked about this lane matchup. It is very swingy. And it seems like now that Jax has a lead, things are going to get a lot rougher for his.
Really important, though, for Shook to get an early kill here, too, because he gets a boost in experience. Yes, he loses some of his jungle, but he would have gotten that contested anyways against Move, and he is still equal on raw CS here. So he's doing a great job with this Olaf, because Olaf generally wants to wait until 6 so he can Ragnarok into a lane, deny any kind of CC on him and find a kill. Remember, like, Vitality as a team is also waiting for Nukeduck to come online.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Level 6 just around the corner here for the mid laners. Quickly approaching that threshold. Nukeduck gonna get it at the back half of this wave, it looks like. He'll start to be able to pressure with Destiny, but Exile still trying to play forward, although Nukeduck, as you mentioned in Champion Select, is just free to push out this wave.
Yeah, he has control of the wave. He also got the Abyssal, which means if Viktor gets like a lucky combo, he can't instant follow up with ulti to kind of one-shot. Like, rushing Negatron is so good in these wave clear matchups.
See that on your screen.
They are the 79%.
Yeah. Swing in there, 77 to 23. But you can hear the Unicorns of Love fans loud and clear.
Tactical zoom on the 4 Unicorn fans in the crowd. There's a lot of people here waiting for some later matches too. A lot of matches being played today.
Yeah, a lot of hype matches. Call for Chachi.
Chachi needs some help. Needs some more calls from his jungler.
Hey,
he's lurking though.
Yeah, making his presence known. Or not making his presence known. Just wants to sneak in there. Is Chachi a better actor?
Oh, and he's level 6. If they can turn around gank, would be huge.
Oh, Spear goes in. Looks like they're just going to try to harass down. Cabo's going to be cursed here for a little bit.
You got to be incredibly careful when ganking in Illaoi when she's 6, even after you have a solo kill on her. Because that ultimate can turn things around in a jiffy.
Just excellent vocabulary there. Command of English is impeccable.
That's where you go, no, it's actually give.
Cabo, the story of fancy footwork continues.
Oh, Turbo Shook.
Running his way in here, stun card coming in. Olaf's natural enemy, ladies and gentlemen, the wall.
The wall. Yeah, Olaf does not carry flash here, but this is huge now. Exile, yes, he has cleanse, but any catch-up from Nukeduck chasing him can be enough later on. Somebody joins that party. But Move snuck in and took away enemy blue buff though, so that's really important now. Shook is looking to mirror that. They still have Destiny available. They could go for a 4-man dive in top lane too. That could be a nice play here with this Viktor basing.
Yeah, Viktor's backing out. They are going to spot Shook here on the top side. They have a 1-man advantage. Taric, no ultimate available.
Oh, no TP on Cabo yet. There's a couple of seconds here, so it feels like miscommunication.
Poke going down. They're going to have to wait for another wave if they want to pull out the dive. Looks like Vitality are going to opt out there. They had the tools necessary.
So yeah, that's kind of surprising here. Now Nukeduck has to run. Run, Nukeduck!
Oh. Enough. Chachi going under the tower, though. Is he going to be able to pull this one out? Cabo with the flash. Flash traded. Tentacle! My God!
Smacked in the butt. Cabo goes down. Yeah, that was a really weird move from Shook. He passed the top lane, which usually means the entire team is ready to die, but Cabochard had 5 seconds on his teleport, and Nukeduck was pushed in the mid lane. So he kind of just popped in his head, said hello, and left, revealing his presence, making it so that Cabochard in the bot lane then got dove by Vizicsacsi. Of course, if you see the enemy jungler at your top lane tower and you see your mid laner having pressure on the TF, you can just go for these aggressive 1v1 plays.
And we can look at this one more time, how bold he is, but just throwing down some damage. Using the Test of Spirit here. What is the commitment here?
Yeah, Cabochard was hoping Vizicsacsi would take tower aggro, but every time he autoed that clone, he would walk out, just out of range, and then back in, and then out. And Cabochard kind of got baited in, and then, yeah, too deep.
And the roughest part here is not only is there now kills evening out the gold difference, but also the CS starting to go in the favor of Chachi as well. Cabo not looking comfortable at all in these trades. Tentacle Slam just does so much.
Yeah, he's also playing budget jacks, you know. Thorns, and a longsword.
This is not the Trinity Force to get him online and running. I mean, it's just Illaoi is so oppressive in this laning phase, and I mean, unfortunately, with an Olaf on your team, there's not really a lot of hard CC in this lane to just keep her locked down. Yeah,
honestly, very surprised that Shook didn't return to the bot lane with a Nukeduck combo and just went for a dive. Now Nukeduck is getting a good second card trade here. Look at that. Yep, 10 Lord Spark 2, Exile super low. Nukeduck out of mana though. It could have went for the blue card. Would have been less damage, but then have potential ulti chase. But he's just looking for lane pressure here, honestly. So that was a really good trade from him.
Absolutely, will help him even up the CS differential here. Of course, Exile, no TP, but now Vitality shifting their attention to the bottom side.
This is a good band-aid swap, honestly. If one of your matchups is losing, what you do is you just pair him. You send your bot lane here back to their original location. You take 2 tower shots, which is totally on purpose. And then you just get the tower, you know? You force the map to be split here, but KaSing kind of got poked out.
Oh, ulti comes in as well. Chachi burning down, but a little bit of a heal coming in. Will he be able to survive? Answer is yes. Illaoi ruining all attempts to burn through this tower.
Yeah, good mantra W there from KaSing, but the 2v3 hold here means that the top lane is left 2v1 here, and Veritas and Hylissang are a great diving combination because they can obviously channel invulnerability here against this Olaf. Let's see if they want to have a stab at it.
Shook level 8, that's a tanky Olaf. I don't know if they have the damage. We'll see if they go for it or if they're just going to focus the tower. Shook doesn't want to play too forward, just going to clear out the minions with those axes. I mean, Unicorns Love, the gold difference really isn't there yet, but they are definitely in control of the map thus far.
No, they're doing great so far. They managed to crawl back from that original deficit, and honestly, Vitality failed to snowball. They had the map under control. They have yet to use a Destiny 11 minutes, 30 seconds into the game, which generally means you're doing something wrong. They tried a good band-aid swap, but then they failed in execution. KaSing got poked over the wall. Could have easily hugged bottom part of the tower, and then went for the trade. So any move they made, they lost the momentum here, and Unicorns doing a fantastic job just hanging on.
Absolutely. Cabo now alone on the top side. Chachi's on his way up, though, so it's going to be the same 1v1 matchup, just in a different lane. Now bottom lane's matching up as well, so.
And great job by Veritas, honestly, staying even CS. Like, we talked about it, you know, at minute 2 and 3 when the whole camp situation went down. Those crucial early levels meant that Veritas, despite being pressured in slightly, kept completely even on CS in a losing matchup.
Very good from him. Honestly, Veritas has been a little bit inconsistent this split. Sometimes we see great games, sometimes he really does struggle, but matching up with Police and KaSing well. Good start from him. Far move.
Gets his Scuttle Crab prepared.
Happy to pick that one up. Oh, Exile in trouble here. Does have the cleanse, does have the flash. Is he going to use it? It doesn't look like it. Knows he's dead. Accepts his fate. Shook and Nukeduck cleaning that one up.
Yeah, finds him caught out. This is good though, because now Nukeduck has the pressure and he still has Destiny and Ghost available. So they can honestly path into the Dragon area, pick up a Cloud Drake if they want. Or they can base and maybe get a gank out with the TF. Figures off the map for 10 more seconds.
So waiting on that respawn shot. Shook taking his opportunity to clear up the Scuttle Crab. Cloud Drake, not a huge priority for these teams, but we'll see when they want to go for it. The constant test of spirit coming in from Vizicsacsi, making it so hard for Cabo to farm comfortably, let alone lane.
Yeah, he's down 30 CS, 2 levels here, not 1 level, but Nukeduck's coming in for the counter.
Oh, here it comes. There's the Destiny we were waiting for, and Chachi, the stun, gonna stop those tentacles in their tracks.
Yeah, and this is a good spillover of pressure. We see it so often. Advantage in mid translates into a base, into an advantage in top here. Really good team play by Vitality. And Nukeduck with the Ghost is back in time to hold the mid. And now Viktor's trying to roam, but Viktor isn't really a great roam champion. So this is Vitality taking really good. They just capitalized on that play, honestly.
Absolutely.
That one kill turned into 2 easy kills, and now Cabo may get back into the game slowly.
Absolutely. Now building towards that Trinity Force, just where he wants to be. Shook getting a nice little buff to his gold income as well. Finishing up the Cinder Hulk. Things looking good for Vitality. They've swung it back in their favor.
And they're looking for a bot play because they're placing some of these cheeky TP wards that usually with supports will sweep the brush, but they won't sweep far enough to get that ward, you know, that's right next to the tri-brush right there. And they're hoping for that to be a nice teleport ward for Cabochard, but then counter gank or jungle gank, for example, with Nukeduck coming down on the next Destiny.
You can see Move moving down to the bottom side of the map as well. Nukeduck halfway through that cooldown on Destiny. Just a battle of poke here on the bottom side. Taric more than happy to heal that up. As you mentioned, there's the ward completely out of the sweeper range. They're not.
And now Move, if he goes into tri-brush, he assumes it's clean. And that's when you got to earn your second Oscar. He's like, oh yes, I'm overextending. Oh, I just happened to back off at the same time the jungler came around the corner. Unlucky jungler.
Oh, I like it. I like this game of acting. The mind game's coming out here. Of course, Shook on the top side does get spotted out. You can see him pinging aggressively when they saw Move back out. Maybe hoping to get a play on the top side, but still have to be careful. Even if Illaoi has fallen behind a little bit here. Still a very terrifying threat. They're moving forward. Death Dance up and available. Moving in. Are they going to be able to get it? CC comes out. Tested Spirit ultimate. They're hitting it in. Move's hanging on the backside. Chachi does go down in the end. Move running. Clean execution coming in from Vitality one more time.
Yeah, Vizicsacsi honestly too far in the lane. You know, he felt safe against that pink ward. It was really good ghost timing there by Shook. The second he runs into the probable vision range, you know, at the edge of where pink ward normally is placed, he immediately activates Ghost and he gets maximum value out of it. He corners Vizicsacsi, Blue Smite allows Cabochard to close the gap, and then it's an easy finish before Move is in position to counter gank.
Absolutely, and despite Vizicacsi's incredibly potent triple kill that we saw yesterday to really snowball, he did drop a lot of kills in the early game. We've seen this consistently be an issue for him when he is on this Illaoi. He just overextends. Yeah,
he really wants the kills and make maximum usage of the damage of Illaoi, but honestly, he's been overextending. This is 6 pre-15 deaths now in 2 games that he's had. Okay, maybe pre-15-30, you know, but he's died 6 times in the early game as an Illaoi over 2 games. That is simply too much.
Yeah, this could be the 4th death as well. Vitality descending on him. They smell weakness and they want to punish it. Chachi in trouble. They're hitting down. Is he going to be able to heal up? It doesn't look like it. More than happy to just burn through that health bar. Ignite making it easy.
Yeah, and this Ghost Mat paying off dividends here in the TF Viktor matchup too, because it just allows you to run out of the Viktor ultimate, especially later once he picks up that Rylai's Crystal Scepter here. The wave is clean. That's why Nukeduck was so low, because he just traded his health for wave clear, which meant they only lose 1 tower here in the top lane, but they're looking to trade that one for in the bottom lane. So Vitality, in even trades, they're getting additional benefits in terms of kills.
Absolutely. Extending the goal lead almost 2K in their favor now, 17 minutes into the game. The question is, can they keep this up?
Yeah.
One overstep and Unicorns of Love can swing it back in their favor.
Definitely, since they're mostly because their gold allocation is all centered on Shook. Yes, Shook is a jungler that can carry, but the main split pusher here, the main driver of force in the side lanes, you know, that usually controls the way the map is played, you know, is just reaping an assist. You know, 0, 1, and 4 for Cabochard, and he probably still has issues in that 1v1 matchup against Vizicsacsi.
I mean, doesn't even have boots yet. Needs to focus on getting that Trinity Force out early. Really suffering here. Clearly still at a bit of a deficit. Gotta see how exactly they're going to play around this.
Well, this is where Hylissang managed to win a fight for his team yesterday at Rift Herald, but it's something the Unicorns starting it themselves. So often this weekend we've seen teams start for a Panic Herald and end up paying the price here.
Chachi going to miss the Test of Spirit there. No curses going down onto Cabo quite yet. Looks like Rift Herald may once again be the center of attention. Both teams, 5 members on the top side of the map. Destiny coming in.
Ooh, Nukeduck looking for an option because he saw that Exile wasn't really around. Exile doing Raptors here, so Nukeduck looking to challenge.
Gravity Field goes down. That's a blue card. That's not what you want. Lots of damage going down on the Nukeduck. Has he overextended? In comes Cabo. Exile have to consider it. Snipe from Veritas on the backside. TP in from Chachi.
Honestly, he knows that Exile has cleanse, so in terms from damage output, the blue card is the best option because obviously it's more of an all-in. I think he was actually just trying to make use of his ulti to contest the Raptor, hoping to instill fear in Exile. Exile said, you know what, you're coming to my turf, I'm just going to gravity field you and blow you up, and I don't think Nukeduck was ready for that. Because to play around cleanse, you can actually just blue card spam the enemy mid laner, because he's going to cleanse out of your gold card anyways.
Absolutely, but at the end of the day, maybe not the right choice here to commit for that, but in go the Unicorns of Love. They want more. KaSing all comes down from the Illaoi. Tentacles left and right. It's a party here. And Unicorns of Love, they're going to cake up this turret on the back half.
Yeah, and this is the power of their composition, you know, strength in numbers, especially if they go for some additional objectives here, because if it turns out to be a massive scuffle, they always have the Taric ultimate available.
Such good use of the toolkit available to them. Chachi, no fear diving in, backed up by the team. Exile back to wave clear duty in the mid lane, but not too concerned quite yet. Just going to speed away. Cabo, they're looking for a dive of his own. Flash comes out from Exile, and meanwhile, the Rift Herald drops for Unicorns of Love. Illaoi just keeps getting scarier here, and Vitality, they're trying to make some responsive moves.
Yeah, but Vitality need to do the same thing they did earlier, which is capitalize on flashes being burned. Their lineup is so strong when it comes to punishing flashless players. Olaf will always connect an axe, you know. Exile can't flash out, Vizicsacsi no longer can flash out. We need to see if they play with enough respect of their opponent's all-in potential and survive the next 3 to 4 minutes, because that's something Unicorns have consistently been doing wrong this split. Like, they play super aggro and then flash out, but then they don't change their gameplay patterns once the flash is down.
Oh, Destiny coming in. It looks like they're in trouble. Invulnerability is going to come in as well, but Hylissang is stunned up. He's only got a few seconds to be safe. Will he be able to make it out of this one? It could be. No, goes go down, but KaSing is in trouble now. That's a kill traded back. Gravity field, not going to interrupt too much. They're pulling off. The Chaos Storm goes down. Stun card onto Veritas, but there's no follow-up. Shook moving forward. Cabo moving forward. Oh, Cabo! Traded. Shut down. Cabo, a monster in this fight. The double kill goes down. Move, running for his life, and it turns on Unicorns in an instant.
Oh, Cabochard, Silver play, what a play right there.
Oh, Denial coming in.
Well, now I can't praise him anymore. He just literally stood in the brush in the enemy jungle. Challenge for red buff.
Oh, move's gonna get in the end.
That was a good fight because it highlighted some of the key abilities. It really showed you the power of the Taric ultimate if you don't burn him down immediately. If he has enough time to kind of survive here, really good early pop from Hylissang. Because right when all the damage comes in, he's invulnerable, and then everybody turns on KaSing. He doesn't get hit by the spear, barely misses here, so that's honestly a bad spear from move, which meant Viktor damage could have been used on other people here, but with control mage in the tight area, really good for Unicorns. But then Cabo here with this flash, 2-man.
Gets the cleanse too, and just cleans up.
And then Move walks around, you know, ring around the ropes. It's actually surprising that he goes for that play.
That's really
feels
aggressive.
so safe here. Blue trinket. Pop, pop.
Oh.
And he still gets the red buff, so that's actually, so many people would have just based there and just reset the map. Move not only gets a kill, but also denies the red buff and then claims it for himself there. So good little play on the later stages of that fight.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams trading blows here, and it felt like Vitality the ones to start it off. The Unicorns of Love still getting something back in the end, and the gold is just about dead even. Baron, of course, now up and available as we approach the 22-minute mark.
Yeah, and their flashes are coming up again here, so the Unicorns are weathering the storm. They're so reliant on these movement abilities.
Especially with Chachi, of course, on that Illaoi. Really want to be able to get into melee range when you're going to use that ult, and not something Vitality are going to give him for free on the hunt.
Yeah,
Montford Inspire.
Flash helps so much with this Illaoi, you know, and Taric too. If Taric can flash him for a stun, you can one-shot somebody. Otherwise, you're kind of slowly creeping up. It's like the equivalent of the Walk of Shame. Like, nobody wants to walk up to the enemy team from the front to just, yeah,
to just
try and get something done.
Yeah. Yeah. It's rough life.
Rough life.
We'll have to see if we ring the shame bell this game. How efficient Vitality can be at kiting out these fights. If that's even how they want to play it. A lot of forward mobility with that Olaf and that Jax, but really wondering when the Jax split push is going to come online, because right now it seems like Chachi is still in control here.
Yeah, that has been thwarted. So Vitality need to pivot right now. They can use Jax as a flanker in team fights. He is going for, honestly, a rush tank item. And Jax that has a lead, has a good split push, usually goes for two damage items and then into tank. Move challenging enemy vision here. But Cabochard is just building a straight up tank, so maybe he's just going for a team fight flank role. Very, very dive-centric composition here on Vitality too. They want to dive the backline and hopefully have Police survive with mobility, but it's rough against the likes of Illaoi and Viktor.
Absolutely. I mean, that is not a team you want to run into. Gravity Field, Chaos Storm, the Test of Spirit, the Leap of Faith. Ugh, so much potential damage coming in if you ever do get caught up. But Nukeduck, he's got that extra mobility, and he seems more than comfortable to keep pressure
Very
on the side.
inspirational names, though. You know.
Yeah. I like this.
Spirit. We have to take a leap of faith.
And then it's just Tentacle Smash. It's like harsh lesson, test of spirit, leap of faith. Could be a test for move here though. Knocked up. Oh, gonna get stunned up as well. The chain CC coming in. Are they gonna be able to get him? Nidalee just gonna hop on out of that one.
Yeah. No smashing was done that day.
Nope. No harsh lessons learned. Cabo though, he may learn one of his own as tentacles continue to harass him out here.
Yeah. Move at what is it? Good DI on that smash attempt.
He's learning. Yeah, this is kind of the the nightmare matchup for the Smash enthusiasts there. This is Rosalina and Luma versus any other character in the Smash forecast.
I know some of those words.
It's like fighting two characters at once.
Fox, right? Fox in the
yeah, he shoots. He shoots a gun. Good job, Krepo.
She does the impulse, man. He was so into Smash, and he made a Smash reference on air once, and the community like kind of chastised him, and he's so afraid to do it ever since.
Aw, man. They just don't. They think we're stealing. I'm not stealing. I love that community.
We love. Is this where I admit that I'm a wobble player?
Oh God, no! You never admit that. You never admit that, man. No one wants to hear about your ice climbers. You can hear the Unicorns fans.
Still
they want blood. They're ready.
I mean, I'd like some blood. I want some action. I was so hyped for this early game. Everybody was fighting. Destiny was being used. I was trying to think of a way to just sneak in Destiny's Child, but it wasn't really working.
No.
But at least we saw a move. He was a survivor. Dodged a smash attempt.
You're so good at derailing me. I always like, I have something to say.
It's like,
never mind.
You want to talk about this game? No. That's not what we do here.
Yeah.
All right, Booba.
All right. Oh, gonna get it in the end. Exileh taking that one. Now backing off.
Cabo's in base though, so this means Vitality's looking for, honestly, a surprise somewhere with the teleport. Bot lane is kind of untouched. Yeah. And Unicorns are stalling on the map because their AD carry is soloing Dragon. That's why kind of nothing's happening on their side. It's going. It's like the horribly slow murder with the incredibly inefficient weapon, if you've ever seen that one. It's basically a guy chasing somebody with a spoon. It's a great video out there. Watch it. But Veritas gets it.
Look it, man. Sometimes a spoon is all you need.
Spoon that Dragon.
Bonus for generation. Happy to have it, of course, on the Ezreal. Very mana-dependent champion in a lot of these exchanges. You know, he's not afraid to have a solo career here as he clears that drain. He's the Beyonce of this Destiny's Child.
He's the Beyonce.
Trying to start a fight here, but in comes the Destiny. They may have overcommitted. Hylissang going to start channeling the ult. Illaoi on the way in as well. Chachi ready for something. Both teams here, they're ready to tango, but no one has taken the first steps.
All right, big cooldowns used. The Destiny's down. We have the Taric ultimate down. And On the Hunt was burned too here, so neutralized. Now Cabochard can actually use his teleport advantage though, if he can hold somewhat evenly in this bot lane, and Vitality can claim control of the river around Baron. They can actually set up a bait where they can then maybe burn some flashes on the sides of Unicorns and then punish them a little later on. Obviously, later stages of the game, tactics evolve into like multi-stat plans that come over fruition over a larger amount of times here. So let's see if Vitality are actually going to look to Baron or surprise and punish.
They're looking to punish Vizicsacsi here. In comes the ultimate. That's a lot of healing. Death Dance is insane. What? 2v1, not enough. They're going to need 3 members if they want to take down Chachi.
That's why I prefer my plan, where you teleport away from the Illaoi. Say no, you can stay here.
I got to be honest. Illaoi, Olaf, very similar champions. Walk away.
Just walk away.
Just walk away.
So yeah, this is definitely a burn on that teleport advantage. Just about a minute of playtime is lost here, and now Unicorns have control of the map. 4-1 split push, what we're expecting.
Nidalee gets the spell shield there, On the Hunt burn. Police ready to go in. Nukeduck on the side with the card. Exileh does have cleanse. Nidalee not so fortunate. Cabo moving in, but Chachi, this is the jungle. This is where Illaoi is queen. Dodges out the test of spirit.
All right, now mid is open though, and not in the solo queue kind of way. It's actually just the better rotation path here for Vitality. They can push down. But there's still a tier 1 tower in the way, so I don't think Unicorns will mind if that falls, but they're looking to at least defend.
Maybe move is on the side. Tower's burning down. They need to get a fight here because the tower is going to drop in favor of Vitality. KaSing running for his life. Test of Spirit blocked out. Tentacle Slam goes down. Shook in trouble, slowly getting burned down. Such a long fight. Shook running for his life. Ragnarok going to be used. Spear connects. Move running forward. Gold card not going to come out. Shut down. Nukeduck misses on the gold. They're moving forward. More damage onto KaSing. Move is hungry for blood. Kills dropping left and right. Police in trouble. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do much more in this one.
The grand chase here from the Unicorns, completely surprising Vitality while they're finishing up that tier 1 in tower. KaSing is left in the back, wondering, team, where are you guys? And then the chase comes in. Hylissang with a good aggressive ultimate too. Nukeduck has to pick up farm in the bot lane. Vitality are yielding this Baron. This is a really good aggressive punish. And it all started in the bottom lane with Vizicsacsi turning around that 1-for-2.
Happy to just use that ultimate to trade advantages here, and we're going to watch this team fight one more time.
I mean, look at Vitality. They're just leaving their support to dry. You don't do that. I'm glad to see them punished for this major crime. You got to defend your support. He spends his entire day and game just trying to help you, and obviously Shook without flash. Easy target.
He pays the price.
Yep.
Now this
Goes down.
Oh. Damage immune Elise, or damage immune Nidalee rather. Chasing down here. Sheepy.
Sheepy's happy.
I like that. Quick little clap.
Yeah, gotta keep clapping, you know. Nice not to. I say that because I tied it.
I was wondering how that was going to come out. The truth. Krepo ties everyone's ties. That's the secret.
Hey man, European. Love me some ties. That was the major disappointment for me, man. The 10 best dressed coaches, scroll to the pictures, none of them done their tie properly. Oh. There's some horrendous ties in there. And I know how annoying it is because there's this guy called LOL Ties on Twitter. And it's actually so annoying whenever they tweet it to me. He's like, oh yeah, your tie's not perfect. Now I've become LOL Ties. I've become everything I've hated, Tsepha.
I love
all your
ties.
fight.
They keep our fashion game on point, Krepo. They're just trying to help. Unicorns of Love, though, they're going to help themselves do a turret here. Maybe an inhibitor as well, because Vitality aren't even putting up a fight. Destiny comes in. Can they even get a flank? Jax is split pushing. What is happening here? Unicorns of Love are just running through Vitality. There's not a lot of hope left. Invulnerability coming in. Chachi's not going to drop. Inhibitor goes down. Vitality needed to get something on the back half of this fight. Chachi looks like he will be the sacrificial lamb, and they're not going to get anything else. One kill for a tower and an inhibitor.
Yeah, and usually this is where you'd want your Destiny to be used to kind of start a chase here, but even into a Viktor, it's very rough here. So Vitality kind of leave open their base. They trade Illaoi for inhibitor on the side of Unicorns. Definitely hashtag worth.
Absolutely. Hashtag double worth, Krepo. Getting so much more. And Vitality, I feel like, what was going on there? Were they just kind of not committed? Did they not expect them to rush down mid?
They couldn't 5v5, so they just, I guess they assumed that the push would go slightly slower, pick up some side lane farm, and then they committed to defend anyways. But Unicorns, yeah, stampede once they're grouped. This power dropping incredibly quick here, you know. Veritas with touch. The problem is this composition now has so much damage that anytime you spend locking down a single member, you just can't match them, like, damage-wise. Jackson teamfights isn't the greatest fighter. He wasn't even there in time either, you know. So a lot of the win conditions from Vitality got negated. Like, the global into Viktor means that usually you should be able to match the wave clear and then TP out and get an advantage on side lanes. Didn't really happen. The Jackson in a split matchup with an Olaf ganking usually should get him ahead. Despite Vizicsacsi dying a couple times, he's still winning that part of the equation. So Vitality, they've lost their answers. And of course, Unicorns over time will scale incredibly well into the late game with this Ezreal Viktor, you know, and then late game Illaoi too. Yeah. Sivir is no slouch, but because key members didn't snowball off their prerogatives, Vitality fall behind.
Absolutely, and the biggest issue here is you feel like you can dive into this backline. Maybe you can get on Unicorns of Love and punish these more vulnerable champions like Viktor and Ezreal. But if you ever leap into an Illaoi, you're just going to get popped. Yeah,
and if you're kind of rushing into each other, then this Taric ulti is just bringing so much more value than whatever a Karma can bring in that sense. And that's the problem here, you know. Hylissang is buying so much time with this Taric pick in some of these extended fights too.
Dragon looking like it may go down. Nukeduck with the yellow card prepped.
Oh, look at the pings here. Unicorns say, you know what? It was a ruse. It was all an elaborate bait. We're just going to rotate here. Vizicsacsi looking to poke up Elise.
Gonna get it.
No.
Throws down the Test of Spirit. Is going to hit up a decent amount. It's going to be impossible for them to fight in the jungle here while that member is cursed. I think it's not going to happen in the end. Now running. They're moving up. They're looking to take another inhibitor. Vitality are not in position to contest. They need to look for a flank here if they want it. Veritas leaps forward.
Great shot calling here by the Unicorns. They use the dragon as a bait here. That move's getting engaged on.
Damage and vulnerability. They're just going to barrel down the mid lane and look for this inhibitor. Hilly flashes it. Double stun. Chachi maybe looking for more. Tested Spirit going to miss. Ragnarok comes out. Hylissang, the only man on the front line. Cabo going in. Chaos Storm going down. Cabo, will he fall? No one is dropping. It is just a trade of blows here.
Yeah.
But Unicorns of Love, they're not done.
Unicorns, they had an option right there, but good flash for moves allows them to survive because the Vitality was waiting for Police to join the party. Now the second inhibitor is going down, and Unicorns moving left, right, and center. They sway away from the Dragon, get tier 2, get access to the base, and once that's open, they play the fight out with respect for the engage of Vitality, but they fire back at the right time.
I just want to reiterate exactly what you said. Such fantastic shot calling coming in from the Unicorns of Love. Incredibly decisive play, not overcommitting, something we used to see from them, I feel like, all the time. Backing off, not wanting to give anything up there in the end. Get the second inhibitor for free. Vitality just consistently a step behind this game.
Yeah, they didn't get the TF roams off, and that's honestly, for me, the biggest thing this match. Really needed to see more presence from Nukeduck. Like, his score is fine, you know, 2-1 and 4, but he wasn't having the impact. I think the one thing that sums it up best is where Shook ran top, showed his face under the enemy turret. It's like, oh, there's no Destiny to follow up, there's no TP because it's still on cooldown. That means that Vitality's not playing as a unit, you know. A great team, it looks like you're watching an RTS. One guy controlling 5 different minions. Champions then, but instead you're just seeing 5 individual players that are trying to work together instead.
Yeah, not looking very clean for the team thus far. Unicorns of Love sieging on the last bastion, the last bit of hope that Vitality have left in this game.
And no more flanking. It's super important that you can get your Jackson from the side, maybe TF from the back end too. You know, you want to do like a 3-pronged pincer almost with this comp. But Unicorns is not allowing it. They're continuously keeping the Vitality lineup in front of them, and then they can kite, you know, with this Iceborne Ezreal, there's a QSS on him too. Viktor is so good when teams run at him, and then Taric can predict the fight.
Tested Spirit goes down. Veritas very low. Hops out. Ooh. Incredibly low. Got to keep our eyes on this Destiny. Damage and vulnerability coming in. Unicorns of Love on the retreat.
Yeah, Veritas actually shifted into the wild cards.
Nukeduck on the flank. Baron coming up in 20 seconds. Vitality, it looks like they might be hungry for blood, but they do not have any members to attend this party.
And this is just an ult for information here. Nukeduck is always sneaking into enemy junglers. He's always getting distracted. Look at this.
Oh! Oh!
And now Cabo's coming in. This may be the turning point of the game here. And let's see if Police can buy enough time on this chase.
Secret Agent Nukeduck making his way into the back lines. Now moving forward, are they going to be able to keep the fight going? Leaps to the tentacle, stun coming out. Is it going to connect? Doesn't look like it. On the hunt burn, flash forward, move. He's set to fall. They don't have the Taric ult to back him up, but the Zhonya's is buying time. Exile does so much damage.
Vitality will likely just have to start a panic Baron and then get swept here because they have 2 inhibs, like 1 hip down still. There's no Viktor ulti. They're losing their base slowly, so they're just going for the 50-50 panic Baron here. Interesting in this game.
Chachi has TP. He can go to the base. He can come to the fight. Looks like he wants to fight. They're in the pit. They're grouped up. This could be the perfect ult. He gets the steal! Are you kidding me? Vitality! Is there no hope left for this team? They want the fight now. They want to get something back. But Unicorns of Love with a smile on their face just walk away, getting everything they wanted.
Honestly, great spell sheet from Police on the laser, and it looks so good for Vitality for just that fraction of a second between that laser and the Baron going down. And then suddenly, you spot the Unicorns with the Baron buff around them. Now Police is on the hunt here, on the run away from, honestly, the Thieves. Move drop.
This is Vitality. Have to be wondering what they're going to do the next game, because there's
karma. You get a Baron steal yesterday, you get it stolen away from you today. All is well in the universe.
Surprise Nukeduck. The fight continues, and I think the reality here is that Vitality, as much as they want to commit.
I mean, I like this chase. They back out too. They get the Viktor ultimate here. They know not to overchase into this Illaoi Taric combination. They make the right call. At this point, you have to go Baron. If you base here, you sacrifice this Baron anyways, and they'll just push in and it'll be over. So this is completely the right call. Just need to see where it goes wrong. Does Shook actually end up using a smite? Is the laser actually hitting the Baron? Laser does not hit Baron. Ooh. It's just move coming in here. Early smite from Shook. So completely outplayed by enemy jungler.
Unicorns of Love. I mean, Vitality finally start making some moves to get back in this game. They've got 11 kills to the 7 on the side of Unicorns of Love. The gold is way closer. It seems like it should be, but Unicorns of Love, they've got 2 or about to have 2 inhibitors down. And they could look to end the game here with this Baron buff.
If Vitality can get access to maybe the Ezreal or one-shot the Viktor with a flank from Jax, they obviously can still win the fight here. It's going from the front door that is proving very difficult for them.
Absolutely terrifying to deal with as well. The Illaoi nearly unkillable if she's not CC'd constantly.
Still looking at a 4-item Sivir here though. That can single-handedly carry fights if things go wrong here. The goal is, as you said, only 4,000 difference here. If Vitality can thwart this push somehow and stall, or there is Unicorn's greed coming into play, or people just sidestepping into wildcards, everything is still possible, but there's a commanding grasp on the game for Unicorns.
Sivir, of course, one of the best champions for clearing out these Baron-empowered minions.
There is a flank ward, but there's no teleport here, and if Unicorns have done their math here, this is just a free inhibitor, 45.
Absolutely just gonna grab that one. Confident clean coming in here, and Cabo,
I mean,
longest 8 seconds of his life back into base. Unfortunately for Unicorn, or for Vitality rather, it looks like Unicorns of Love, they're not making the mistakes that Vitality need them to come back into this game.
they still didn't breach any inhibitors though. Like once that last one comes up, like they're only fighting against one wave of super creeps here on the side of Vitality, and this Baron buff will run out. It's the Elder that will come in, but there's only one buff dragon-wise on the Unicorns, so that's going to be a very meager, very weak Elder Dragon buff on the side of the Unicorns.
Yeah, a little bit extra damage. Probably not the key to victory here for the Unicorns of Love. Although maybe if they can force Vitality into a fight.
Yeah, that's more it, you know. They find the proof in the pudding. The reward may be in the setup rather than the actual buff. Baiting Vitality into coming to test.
Unicorns of Love, they're clearing out the vision. They're going to need to pull out the Destiny as well as these blue trinkets if they want to force anything here. Executioner's calling, finally coming out on Police, really wanting to limit what Taric and Illaoi can bring to the table in these extended fights. Defiance coming in, Nukeduck readying up a gold card.
Yeah, and because the Unicorns are so dense, this movement speed advantage from Vitality is usually negated. They're not picking off any lonesome players here.
Nukeduck just sped up and taken right out of the fight, and we just have to be ready at any moment for this fight to get started because Unicorns of Love clearly want it to happen, and Vitality, they're not scared. It looks like they're ready to fight this. Destiny coming in. Unicorns of Love all spotted out.
Yeah, ulti for vision here. Nukeduck going in the side. It takes an incredibly long time to kill an Elder Dragon, but it's a ruse here. Vitality, they may find themselves out-rotated, but Unicorns are doubting the plan.
Shame on you, fool me twice. They are going to back off the Elder Dragon, but now Unicorns of Love are just going to move in and take it. No contention here whatsoever.
They weren't quite sure if they want to rush to the base. They still have a really good path here to that bot lane inhib.
90 bonus damage on the side of Unicorns of Love. Happy to have a little bit of an extra buff here as they move forward, but got a wave pushing on the top side as well. Nukeduck's going to clear that out, but they know they have to concede this inhibitor.
Well, do they don't?
Inhibitor dropping.
Oh, if they didn't.
I mean, you were ready. You were ready. The fight started. But, I mean...
this has to be a fight here, because if you go 3 inhibs down versus this comp, you'll find yourself pushed in.
First comes in onto Cabo. It's going to be so hard for him to join the fight. This is going to be the third inhibitor. Absolutely crushing for the Spirits of Vitality, this long, slow win coming from the Unicorns.
And that essentially doubles the super creeps. Because you go from, instead of like 1 siege creep in every lane, you go to like 3 lanes down, but then 6, you know, in total right now. They're amassing everywhere. Look at those towers just melting. Oh.
Moving in, Veritas on the front lines. Is he going to get burned? Could this be the turning point? Veritas drops. Suddenly they're on the front lines. Everyone is immune to damage, but time is running out. Seconds left. The turn back. Cabo with the double kill, but Chachi's in the middle of the team. Police is alive. Police is doing damage. The Sivir is ripping through the team. Vitality. The turn and burn. The triple coming in. The quadra. Cabo, inhuman play here.
Yeah, quadra kill for Cabochard, and Vitality looking to run it down mid lane, and it all started with a bad QSS from Veritas. It seems like he still got stunned after you in the QSS, and then Vitality just go for the clean ace 5 for 0. They're rushing towards enemy base, but they need to be careful. Look at the pings on your map here. Vizicsacsi, 38 seconds. That's how long Unicorns of Love need to hold before Vizicsacsi wants to TP in and start challenging that Nexus tower.
19 seconds left, 16. Ezreal counting down 15. Each moment matters here on the side of Vitality. 10 seconds till the Ezreal's back. Hylissang not too far behind. Vitality have so many members strong. They're moving to the base. They're moving for it. Can they take it down?
That's it.
Unicorns of Love. They don't have enough time. Vitality! How did you win this this game!
That's 2 games in just as many days that Vitality should have lost, but end up turning it around. 1 major Baron steal, and then today, the clean ace into Nexus Rush.
At the end of the day, 1 decisive team fight. Unicorns of Love played around it so patiently for so long, but they overstep once. 1 mistake, all it takes. Every time.
We're back to screen.
Every time we cast.
It's like, oh, this camera's here. I wonder when they're going. Oh, I don't have time to fix my shirt. Yeah.
We'll just do it now. We'll do it now. Mystery behind the magic, folks. It's smoke and mirrors. They're always a mess during the broadcast, but
it's because we stand up.
It's true.
Get excited.
I was jumping up and down, losing my mind. Vitality get a win here. What?
The important thing to realize here is this is why you never surrender in solo queue. As I say that, I'm one of the players that always wants to surrender, but because this can happen, magic can happen. Somehow, a team that is in complete control, 3 hymns down, can just get a quality kill, and it was so unbelievable that I think we just have to see it again.
Yes, please.
Stole your line.
Yeah, this one more time.
He went to okay, let's watch the QSS. Veritas. Where does he use it? Flashes in. QSS before the gold card. So that's. I just want to talk about that a little more because the follow-up from the fight is really easy. You know, Nukeduck flanks, locks down Exileh, and then he dodges the laser with Zhonya's. Nukeduck really winning the fight for his team there, in my opinion. Yes, Cabo gets a quadra kill, but I think Nukeduck was the pivotal character in that entire ordeal. But the whole difference there is that was like a frame-perfect QSS, use your terminology, if you're playing on Berlin ping. Roughly between 40 and 60, like, you see the gold card flying because there's some innate delay. You know, you just press it and you'll get out of that gold card in an instant. But here you're playing on 8 ping, which means the QSS actually goes off right before the gold card lands. And that's honestly the one thing that I think lost them the entire fight. Because if Ezreal gets QSS off, shifts out, suddenly Taric ulti comes in, a couple of heals, the fight gets turned around, and Unicorns will not lose this game. Maybe they lose the fight, but not into a clean ace, where then Vitality have all this pushing power available.
And you got to think, I was talking for so long during that game about how hard this had to be for Vitality to watch this game turn against them, to watch themselves slowly lose out. But now, on the other hand, Unicorns of Love, this was their game to lose, and they threw it away on one last fight.
They did throw it away. They could have also just simply based, because, you know, as we were talking about, there was this influx of super creeps. You know, once you get 3 hymns down, you get the super creep spawning in every lane, but then you get an additional bonus for having killed every inhibitor. So that's 6 creeps that spawn, you know, across the board. If you base and you guide them into the enemy base, especially considering how compact Vitality was playing, then that's a free Nexus kill. So Unicorns, they kind of greeted a little bit going for that final play, and it cost them.
Absolutely, and while we praise them for their decisive shot calling so frequently, it often counts against them. It's good to be decisive, but sometimes you just need to take stock and say, we can do this the 0-risk way, or we can do this the 30% way, and you give them that 30%, and Vitality are going to take it every time.
Yeah, but this game was obviously more than just the late game. You know, obviously now it gets reduced to this final team fight, but I think we need to look back and see how it started. What I like from Vitality was some of the ganks from Shook that hit. So you had this really good gank here, you know, onto Vizicsacsi, but then they didn't use this advantage. They didn't return to this lane to keep putting him in the dumpster, you know. Instead, they kept, they didn't use this Destiny right here. Again, was a little late. It should have been down again in the bottom lane. So they had the right idea in shutting Vizicsacsi down, and they got him a couple of times, but he was still allowed to be in the game, and more importantly, Cabochard didn't pick up the kills like ever. So he was never winning the split push matchup, and it doesn't matter how much you kind of put the enemy down if you don't get the innate advantage out of it, which you need, which is the Jax winning in this matchup.
Absolutely, and I think what we saw there from the replays is what we needed to see much sooner in the game. Yes, that first gank came out, and then we didn't see anything for so long. And when they finally figured out that they needed to shut down Chachi, when they're getting these kills left and right, when they're shutting this guy down across the board, it was simply too far into the game, and they weren't able to capitalize. And additionally, as you said, not allocating those resources appropriately cost them so much. Yeah,
they tried to shut him down once, you know, and then later in the game, they made the wrong decision in a sense. Like they went for Vizicsacsi when his teleport was down instead of just moving the map away from him. Like a low mobility carry that can't join the fights, like, you don't have to fight him, you know, just fight the Baron instead, use the Baron bait. And I think that would have been a better choice there. So Vitality, they're still messing up at key moments, I feel, and their compositions don't feel as cohesive as they could or should.
And as we start to look at this play, I got to remember, Secret Agent Nukeduck here, Vitality were consistently making moves to come back despite their gold deficit.
So they do these things well, which is super surprising, you know, the fact that they got kind of these sneaks in, and then they went for a good Baron play. And this is honestly great shot calling, but then I feel like where is this in the early to mid game? You know, there's a certain lacking of proactivity or setup across the board where they don't use everything together. Yes, they lose it out here, but that's the nature of a 50-50 play. You got to go back in time and ask yourself, with the same information in mind, would I have made the same call? And this will be a resounding yes for Vitality. So that's definitely there, but they need to go back to the early to mid game, in my opinion, and see like, where could we have unlocked Destiny, combined it with a teleport, gone for a 5v3 dive, because if you play double global, that's exactly what you need to do, and it came out a little bit too little. For the Unicorns, I want to praise them, what they accomplished once they were grouped. Like, they had some really good aggressive Taric flash E's, you know, they had Exileh doing good damage, and then Vizicsacsi, you know, ended up tearing up fights once he was allowed to do so. And they actually should have just won the game.
I mean, absolutely beautiful play, but you're right. I mean, it felt like they should have won the game. We're not able to take it in the end. Great turnaround from Vitality, but before we get into game 2, we're going to take a quick break. But before we go, let's just listen to exactly what Sheepy has to say, what he would want from a coach if his role was swapped around.
Give me a sense of security. I think that's the most important. To have somebody that is honest and genuine, you can trust. So that if you trust in this person, then you can grow together. So I think that's the only thing that I really wish for when I was a player. Somebody who's honest with you if you play terrible. Because in the end, what a coach should do is work in the favor of the player and try to make him improve. So be very honest, say, you know, this is kind of what I'm thinking, and I can help you there and I can help you there. Give you a sense of security.